Hi everyone, thank you for joining our February Broker Roundtable with Robert Milligan. Today we will be discussing SkySlope compliance and our AJI University Agent Portal. If you have any questions throughout the webinar, please type those into the questions box for us. Before we begin, I would just like to say how happy we are to now offer a ton of great free marketing tools to all of our agents, and these are all available in the AJI University. Our goal is to always give back to our agents by offering the newest tools and technology to you. None of this would be possible without you and your amazing amount of agent referrals to AJI. As Allison James continues to grow with agents referring other agents to our brokerage, we will be able to provide more of these tools to you. And remember, you can earn a monthly or yearly residual payment simply by having an agent join us. All you need to do is contact Jeff Jabora or Alicia Aratari in our National Growth and Development Department and provide them with the contact information of the agent who you would like to refer over. And with that being said, I will go ahead now and pass it over to Robert. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning, Victoria. Thank you for tuning in here and checking out what we have to offer this morning. There's a lot of good stuff coming up as the year is very well underway here. And I wanted to talk quickly about a topic that is not the most exciting topic, but it is certainly important, especially if you enjoy getting paid, because SkySlope obviously is the portal that we use that we review and approve all of your files. And as we've had so many new agents joining, it's great, but I just want to make sure that everybody's clear on exactly how the process works on our end from the broker perspective. That way you can have as few delays as possible whenever we're reviewing your files and ultimately are approving them so that you can get paid. So from our vantage point, I'll just share some of the important things that we're looking for, and the portal itself is great because it gives you a list of each transaction that you're inputting, whether it be a new home sale, a traditional sale, an REO sale, a listing. Whatever it is, whenever you select the transaction that's applicable, it's going to automatically give you a list of the required documents. So, a couple things that are very, very important that I want to emphasize, because if you can imagine what it's like on this end of the business, there are probably on average about 50 to 100 files that need some level of attention every single day. So we are really just like a paperwork processing mill over here, reviewing files and approving them. And anytime that there's something that isn't right, something that doesn't quite fit in the box, something that's uploaded that isn't a PDF file, anything that's out of the ordinary, it's like a conveyor belt of files coming through, and then when we find an abnormality, it kind of brings everything to a screeching halt and delays things. And if somebody's new and they're learning the system, that's great. We don't mind. We certainly want to help you learn the system. But if somebody repeatedly isn't doing what's supposed to be done, it becomes a little bit annoying after a while. So we want to just make sure everybody's clear on what's expected. So just taking a normal transaction, for instance, we'll just do like a normal transaction. We generally are going to be requiring the contract, tax record, the MLS sheet, verification of escrow deposit once that's available in a week or two after the deposit's made. And then we do have a list of all of the applicable addendum that may be required if it's an older home built before '78, lead-based paint disclosure, flood zone disclosure, HOA, condo association, whatever the case may be. We have a list of all of these things that are required. And so it's very important. We see a lot of times people just are not loading PDF documents. You might be trying to load a web link, a web document, a Word document, and none of those sorts of documents are acceptable. It has to be a PDF document. So, be aware if you need help converting your document to a PDF document, corporate's there to help you with that. There are a lot of file conversion programs online that you can, and I know, for instance, with Mac, you can print any document and choose to print it as a PDF, and it will automatically save it as a PDF for you. So make sure you're familiar with that. As we go along in the transaction, there is a cancellation that may or may not be required if the transaction's canceled. So make sure that you upload that appropriately. And finally, we have the fully executed closing disclosure or HUD statement if it's a cash deal. So you want to make sure that you come back after you get paid and after your transaction closes and upload that closing disclosure. So a few more important things here. Whenever you're loading all of this paperwork, it slows us down whenever we're looking at the contract, and we want to make sure that it's signed and initialed by all parties. So make sure that before you load your contract, take a little bit of time and thoughtfulness, because when we have to stop and remind you of something, it brings the conveyor belt to a screeching halt. So be a little bit more mindful whenever you load your contract that it is fully executed, signed, and initialed on every single page. And also, we want to make sure that we come back and we do the verification of escrow. Some people have a hard time, requesting that and uploading it in a timely manner, but that is it's a Florida state law. It's not an Allison James policy. So we do have to have a letter from the institution that is holding the escrow deposit, and usually a simple email will obtain that for you. All title companies and attorneys that close, they're accustomed to providing these verification of escrow deposits. So please, make sure you go back and request that. A copy of the check is not an adequate verification of escrow. So, make sure that you do these things and you do these steps. So, now assuming that we've got everything in your file that we need, we're going to next review your commission tab. And this is another sticky point that we want to make sure that you understand completely, because at the top of the commission tab, there are 3 sections on this page. There's commission info section, disbursement information, and then other deductions. So at the top of this page in commission info, you want to put in your gross commission that's payable, and that's the gross amount that is overall. And then you have a place that you can add in your transaction fee if that's applicable, if you're on a Plan C, any other deductions, and it will populate to the next section, which is the disbursement information. And here, this is an area that a lot of agents, especially newer ones, don't know to completely fill out. So in the second section, titled under disbursement information, there are drop-down menus where you can choose your role in the transaction, whether you're an agent or buyer, seller, who you are. So obviously you're going to be the agent, and then there's beside that another drop-down menu that you have to choose your name, put in your mailing address. That way, if the title company is not able to disperse directly at closing, some attorneys won't, especially surrounding REO transactions, put in your mailing address, because that's going to go on your CDA, and the amount that's due to you. Then in the next drop-down menu, choose the transaction fee, the E&O insurance, whatever's applicable depending on the plan that you're with. And then if you have any other deductions, if you're on a team, the third section at the very bottom is going to be if you're on a team, if you happen to be part of our elite group in California, if there is a referral fee that's owed to some other broker somewhere, that is going to have to be itemized in the other deductions at the very bottom of this page. So whenever your CDA is finally completed, reviewed, approved, completed, then the CDA will be created according to this information that you put in. If you leave these bottom 2 sections blank, there's no information to put in. Even though you did put the commission gross amount at the very top, there's still not going to be anything complete in your CDA if you do not complete these bottom 2 sections. So obviously that's very important, and some of you may, we have a friendly little email reminder with a YouTube video link that gives you the instructions on how to properly complete this if we're coming across your file and it's not complete. And so, again, just to help you understand the process from our perspective, from the back end, when we're, doing our best trying to move through 50 to 100 files every single day, whenever we're going through the checklist, we check off, everything's good, everything's here, everything's signed and initialed, then we go to the commission tab, and then we find that your commission tab isn't complete. It's difficult on our end because now we have to send you this message, and then when you complete the commission information after we send you that message, we don't get any notification that that tab is now complete. So the only notification that we can rely on is for you to physically email us back and tell us that you completed this information, and then we have to manually go look up your file again and then finally put the final approval on it. So it's really important whenever we're moving through so many files per day, and and then we have a log section where we can email you whether, we have really 2 different email templates that most typically go out. One is that your congratulations, your file is approved, or it'll say, your transaction's approved, but you didn't complete out your commission information, and your payment, your CDA is going to be delayed. So try to avoid those, and then every now and again we get somebody who just I guess, spaces out and uploads their listing agreement, their executed contract, and their closing statement all at the same time, which is an absolute disaster. We don't tolerate it at all. There's penalties as a result of that. And, you know, we're not trying to be difficult. It's not an Allison James policy. It's a Florida state law. All of your executed documents have to be turned in within 2 business days of execution. So, you know, it's not a high standard that we're upholding. It's Florida state law. And just want you to understand a little bit better from our perspective how we run through this process, because, you know, again, just try to be mindful that we're checking a lot of files every single day. And anything that is out of the ordinary brings the conveyor belt to a stop, and then, you know, it just makes it a little bit more difficult. And we want everybody to have an easy process and get their transactions approved and their CDAs emailed to themselves and their title company very, very quickly. So I hope that helps. And Victoria, is there anything else you think I might want to expound upon there that you can think of? Or?
No, that's perfect. If anyone has any questions regarding SkySlope, please type those in for us. We can answer those right now for you. But the I just know the commission tab, that's just extremely important to fill that in correctly, because if it's not filled in, our processing department has a hard time generating the correct CDA, which just delays you getting paid. So it's for you guys. We just want everything filled in correctly. So that was definitely a good point, Robert.
Very good.
All right. Perfect. Well, now I just want to go over a few quick things. Again, if you have any questions, please type those in for us. I do want to just quickly discuss 1099s. Of course, it is tax time, and I just wanted to let everyone know that your 2015 1099s were sent out over the weekend between January 29th and the 31st via email. So if you have not received your 1099, please check your spam folder. If it is not in there, then please go ahead and contact our accounting department at accounting@ajicorporate.com, or you can dial the corporate number. It is 866-463-5780, and extension 3 is our accounting department. And I am now just going to go ahead and bring us into the AJI University. I'm not sure how many of our agents have logged in here yet, but it is a great place where we have a ton of tools and information for you. If you are unsure of your login information, please contact Jennifer Davis in our Agent Relations Department. She's at extension 4, or you can email her at agents@ajicorporate.com. In here, we have quite a few different sections. I do want to just bring up the corporate directory here. If you have a question for anyone in our corporate team, you can see their contact information here. If you would like to refer an agent, of course, Jeff or Alicia. Any questions regarding your CDAs, you'll need to contact Laura Hawkins in our processing department. Darren is in our accounting department. And Jennifer, our agent relations specialist. If you have any general questions, any questions regarding SkySlope or the AJI University, if you need your login information, she would be the person you would need to reach out to. So there is our corporate directory. Also in here, if you would like to watch any of our recent webinars, if you were unable to join and you'd like to watch the recorded version, we do have those available for you here in the Learn section. And there are a few different categories. We have expert talk, lead generation, mortgage talk, social media, and agent marketing. If any of you have questions regarding the agent marketing site, where you can create your free agent websites and your free property websites, we have all of the training videos available in here. There is a 1-hour training, and then also quite a few short, just 10-minute trainings. But I have had a few questions from agents. Where do I find last month's January webinar? which was hosted by Jeff Green, Systems and Techniques for Effective Email Communication. That is available here under the Expert Talk icon. So you will be able to find all of our recorded webinars here under the Learn section. And if anyone has any questions regarding AJI University, please type those in as well. I do have a few questions here, Robert. They're regarding SkySlope. So I'm going to go ahead and read those right now.
Okay.
How does an agent that referred us to AJI get paid? Okay, that one is that one might be about agent referrals.
Yeah, that's not a SkySlope matter, correct?
Exactly. The second one is, I thought it was a two-part question, but that one, if an agent refers you over to AJI, they are set up to receive a monthly residual payment for referring you to the company as long as you stay with AJI. So that's set up through our accounting department. They handle all of that. No one needs to do anything. They take note when the new agent comes on board. And then here is the SkySlope question. Do we fill that part out in the commission area of SkySlope?
The agent, I guess maybe to clarify the question, would that be the agent referral part, or
yes,
is that what they're referring to?
I'm assuming.
Yeah, no. Okay, yeah, no, you know, and that would be amazingly thorough. I can't imagine anybody going to that extent, but no, that's going to happen automatically through Alice and James' accounting department. So you do not need to enter your referring agent's portion. So that's a good question, though.
That was a great question. So yeah, nothing needs to be done in the commission tab. You're welcome. Now, if anyone else has any questions, I actually do have this SkySlope commission tab open. I'm done in AJI University. There's a ton of tools. I could take 45 minutes going over everything. So I just encourage everyone to log in there, take a look at what we have available. It's really easy to navigate through, and we created this for you guys so you can have everything all in one place. Now, if we, I think I'm going to pull up the SkySlope Commission tab because I have it here right now. Also, we do a weekly onboarding and review session. So if anyone would like to be walked through any of these parts in SkySlope, how to correctly fill out something, how to upload documents, anything like that, you can always log into that webinar. It's every Tuesday at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time, and it is a live webinar. Jennifer Davis hosts it, but she walks through everything you need to know. Here is the commission tab, and I know that Robert, when you were discussing the disbursement information, I just wanted to show everyone exactly where this is, because this is what I see quite often, is that the agents don't fill this in. It's really easy. The drop downs, all you need to do is select, obviously, if you're a Plan C, the E&O insurance. This information will automatically fill out for you, so it's really easy. Again, for Plan C, you would need to select transaction fee. We also have if there's a credit to the seller or the buyer, or if you are paying for a portion of the home warranty, you can select that as well. All of this information fills in, so nothing you need to do there. And then you need to make sure that you select agent somewhere in here. Find your name from the payable to drop down. Always make sure that this mailing address is correct. This is what will automatically appear. This is the information that you have in SkySlope. So if this needs to be changed, you can do that right here. This is an editable field, or you can go into your account settings and update the address. This is what will show on your CDA. And then of course,
I think
Mhm.
If I could real quick, Victoria, because I also get a lot of questions from new agents about the 309 Tamiami Punta Gorda address. And
Yes.
that is a legitimate address that qualifies the company. It is not a mailing address. Nobody's there to pick up the mail. So if your check is going to be dispersed directly to you, you may want to put in your personal address, whatever that may be, or in the rare instances that some title companies refuse to disperse direct and your check gets made to Allison James, you will want to put in the Carlsbad, California, Loker Avenue address there.
Exactly. That is, yep, you hit it right on there. The Tamiami address, rarely anyone goes to that office, so it will just delay you getting paid. So if for some reason you think that the title or escrow company is going to send the check to the Punta Gorda office, please make sure that they take a look at the CDA, because that has the Carlsbad, California. That's the correct address to send any checks made payable to AJI. Yeah, it is hard for us to get the mail here, so so that was a good thing to bring up. I do also have a question here. When entering a listing in SkySlope, there is a field labeled type. It is above the year built field. Please review the choices in the drop-down menu of the type field. Okay, so I can actually pull this up just to see what, when creating a listing.
Very good. I like these good questions today.
I know, I do as well. Okay, the type right here.
Yes. So I guess if I may.
Of course.
So a listing that is new per se would be a new construction, sometimes like a pre-construction sale, that sort of thing. Resale would be your typical, 99.9% of the time you're going to be dealing with a resale listing. Then of course a lot is vacant land. And we do occasionally have a lease that is available to be put into the MLS and leased for a commission fee, for a one-time fee. I do want to emphasize that as a policy, we do not permit property management at Allison James, so you cannot get any overrides on managing, on collecting rents, on evicting people. There's just really no money in that business, and tons of liability for us. So as a company, we decided we do not manage property. However, you can advertise a property for lease for a customer and collect a one-time commission upon successfully leasing it. And then, of course, commercial lease is basically the same situation there, only with the commercial property.
Perfect. All right, if anyone has any other questions, again, please feel free to type those in for us. This is great. We don't usually have this many questions, so this is a good thing.
And I guess while we have a little dead space there, to give people a chance, I wanted to congratulate you on your enchanted closing yesterday. That looked like a good one. So
Thank you, Robert.
I wanted to actually show a screen of the commission tab, but I was thinking, there's no way for me to do this without, violating somebody's privacy. So glad you had that.
The funny part is that one is actually just a demo, a demo one I've been using for about 2 years, so I keep updating the.
Wow, and so has the date not changed until during that time, or?
No, I've just kept updating it. I actually
Okay.
need to do it again because it's showing as expired in the system, so I need to
Yep.
refresh that one.
Yeah, you're going to get some compliance trouble there.
Exactly. All right, it looks like we don't have any other questions. Oh, we do have one more. In reference to what Robert just said, we can rent a property and get the one-time commission, reference half month's rent, but we don't do property management. Is that correct, Robert?
That is, and I've seen all kinds of things for commission over the years on leasing property, and so that's completely negotiable. Of course, some people give the entire first month's rent, some people give half of the first month's rent, some people give a flat fee of something smaller. So whatever you decide that you want to do there fee-wise is perfectly fine. But yes, you are allowed to advertise a property in the MLS for a customer. Say for instance you sold an investment property to a customer. and they intend to lease it, you're certainly welcome to put it in the MLS and get a lease listing agreement executed and advertise that listing as a for lease for them. But we do not allow you to manage the property, to help facilitate people moving in, moving out, no collecting rents, no ordering cleaning services when they're, none of that stuff, because it just ends up becoming an absolute disaster. I mean, there's, in my experience, and this is actually my 15th year as a realtor, believe it or not, and I have almost always in a leasing situation, somebody ends up becoming unhappy, whether it be the tenant, the occupant, the owner, so it's just bad business for, number one, it makes really our agents absolutely no money. I've never seen anybody actually make money in a significant way managing property. And if you value your relationships with your customer, inevitably a occupant will, at some point do something that displeases your customer, and in turn they will be displeased with you. So, so that was a decision we made quite a while back, which is a great decision. But yes, advertise for a fee. Manage the property, no. So I hope that was clear enough.
It was perfect. Okay, wonderful. So I think that's it for our questions. Thank you so much, Robert. We really appreciate you doing the broker roundtables every month for all of us.
Of course.
And thank you everyone so much for joining us today, and we will see you next month.
Bye-bye, Victoria.
Right. Thank you. Bye, Robert.